Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Hannah, and today I wanted to show you how I like to make creamy kimchi noodles. You can use whatever kind of noodle you want. Today I'm going to be using extra wide glass noodles, and I'm also going to add in some rice cakes just because I really like them. This recipe is not completely mine. I got the original recipe from Cheap Lazy Vegan. I really loved it, and I've tweaked a couple little things here and there, but it's still basically her recipe, and yeah, that's what I'm going to show you how to make today. I will link her video down below, and it's super fast and really easy and really yummy. So like I said, you can use whatever types of noodles you want. I'm just going to show you what I'm using today. So normally I like to start out with some vegan butter, but I'm out of that. I'm going to use a little bit of avocado oil today instead, and I'm sure it's still going to be good. Ooh. That was a little bit too much oil. I am going to dump some of that out really fast. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of avocado oil. I want to say maybe like a tablespoon, maybe less. That's probably less. And I'm going to let that heat up for just a little bit. And I chopped already some onions and garlic. The amount that you use just depends on your taste. I like a lot of both, so I am going to add them to the pan. And this is only on medium heat. You don't want it too high. You don't want to like burn it. So I'm just going to get these a little bit soft. Get the onions a little bit translucent. Now that these are just a little bit translucent, they've only been cooking for a couple minutes, I'm gonna add in some flour. Now the kind of flour that you use is totally up to you. This is just brown rice flour. You can also use wheat flour, buckwheat flour, spelt flour. It doesn't matter. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and this recipe always comes out good. So it's literally just to thicken it up, the sauce that you're making. So I'm just gonna put in maybe like a tablespoon and a half of flour, and get all the onion and garlic coated really well in the flour. This will help prevent your sauce from getting lumpy. Garlic is coated evenly. I'm going to add in first, I like to add actually a little bit of vegetable broth just because I think it adds a really nice flavor. You don't have to do this step. You can go straight to the plant milk, but anyway, I'm gonna add, I think that was like 1/4 cup of vegetable broth, and then you can use whatever plant milk you want. I'm gonna use walnut milk, just I like the flavor a lot. It has a nice creaminess to it, in my opinion. So it's better to add too little at first than add too much. So I'm just gonna add maybe 1/3 cup first, and I'll probably add more later. So we're gonna let this kind of thicken up. And also while we're letting that thicken up, I'm gonna add just a teeny bit of brown sugar, just like a spoonful. I think that's a tablespoon. And I'm gonna turn the heat up just a teensy bit. A little bit of rice vinegar, just because it gives it a nice tang. And some Korean red pepper paste. Now if you don't want them that spicy, you don't have to add this, because we are gonna add kimchi as well. But I like spicy food, so I'm gonna add in maybe a little bit more than a tablespoon. And just stir that up really well. I'm also going to add some nutritional yeast because it just adds to the creaminess. Turn the heat down a little bit. Awesome. I'm definitely going to add a little bit more plant milk. I like to have a lot of sauce, especially because when you use like rice cakes and starch noodles, it really absorbs a lot of the moisture from the sauce. So once you put the noodles in and the rice cakes in, they're actually going to thicken up the sauce even more. And then I'll just add a little bit of salt and pepper. And now I'm going to add my kimchi. So I like to use older kimchi. Rose, when she does her video, I mean Cheap Lazy Vegan, she also says to use older kimchi. So I have some kimchi that's been in the fridge for, I don't know, it's been there a while, and it doesn't really go bad, it just gets more and more fermented, so it adds a nice flavor. I think this is maybe like 1/3 of a cup, but you can add as much as you want. And then I also poured in some of the fermented kimchi juice that was in the jar. It smells really good. And now I am going to cook my glass noodles, and I'm going to bring them in here. The glass noodles are cooking. I'm going to turn the heat off on this sauce, and I am just going to put in the rice cakes so they can start to soften. They cook super fast. They don't need to be boiled, but still I just want to get them like warm because it will cook them faster when I turn the heat back on. Okay, hi, I'm back. I have cooked my extra wide glass noodles. I believe that these are made out of rice. I could be wrong. The glass noodles that I usually buy are made out of potato starch. So maybe these are also made out of potato starch. But the package, which is right here, so I can show it to you, it has no English on it. So hopefully they're just potato starch or rice. And my rice cakes are in here, they're cooking. I'm going to add in my glass noodles and just stir them. And I'm going to cook this for a few more minutes so that the noodles can soak up some of the awesome flavor. Just because I really like the flavor, I'm gonna add in a teeny bit of sesame oil now rather than at the beginning because I want the flavor to, I didn't want the sesame oil to burn. I want the flavor to stay strong, so I'm just gonna add like a teeny drizzle. Got a nice little simmer going. I'm gonna just turn the heat down a little bit, and I'm just gonna let this simmer for just a couple of minutes until the rice cakes are pretty much done. And then I'm actually going to add in some broccolini just to cook it a little bit right at the end. I like to always add a little bit of something green, so especially so this isn't just like a sea of beige, but also just because eating greens is really important. All I'm gonna do is put the broccolini right on top, and then it can just steam a little bit. I don't like to overcook it. I like it to have a little bit of crunch. Then we can kind of push those into the sauce. Cool, it's pretty much done. I'm gonna get like an up. Hope you enjoyed this recipe, everybody. It's super yummy. I'm really excited to eat this. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you liked this recipe and you tried it, also let me know. And please like and subscribe to my channel, and have a fantastic day.